Hey y'all, welcome back to Weekly Hyperfixations. I'm Riot. This week we're on week 35. We got a bunch of random stuff on the docket, it feels like to me, but also it's because I've been partially very fixating on planning my next D&D session as I am the dungeon master, but then also watching Critical Role at the same time. So it's been a whirlwind for me. But we're back in our normal spot. So welcome. All right, let's just get into it. First up on deck, Pokemon announced Mega Halucha, I believe right after last week's episode. I think it's really cute because it seems like a reference to that one professional wrestler. I can't remember their name right now, but I thought that was really good. And just today they put out like a teaser for presumably Mega Malamar. It was very entertaining because it was just this video of people who were like way too excited about the Pokemon Malamar. Which some people are like, this is gaudy as hell, why is it like this? It's almost like it's a Pokemon that canonically hypnotizes people a lot to get them to do it at once. So within that context, it makes a lot of sense. I thought it was really funny. Also, this is putting us at 1 week per teaser, which is crazy. The game comes out in October, I believe. Yeah. So we might be looking at a trailer per week or a teaser per week for new Mega Evolutions, which I'm hoping we are. Let's see. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Silksong came out today, as of recording. Silksong immediately crashed every single store page you could get it from because there were no pre-orders for Silksong. So you had to buy it the second it came out, so it crashed a bunch of stores. Steam was having issues in particular. A lot of people made fan art and joked about how the first boss was the Steam's servers crashing. So that was very entertaining. I'm very excited. I'm not going to play the game, but I am going to watch a playthrough of it. I'm just waiting on... There's a couple particular people I would watch play it, and one of them is actually live streaming the whole thing until he beats it today. So I'm looking forward to that VOD. I would have watched it, but I have other things to do. Or I would have watched it live. But alas, you know. James Gunn announced the next Superman movie is Man of Tomorrow, and it is... What's crazy to me is it has a specific date for release already, and it's only July 9th, 2027. That's only 2 years away? I was kind of going crazy with it, actually. Big fan. Let me move this a little, hold on. Okay. Anyways, crazy to me that he's already putting out another Superman movie within 2 years, which means they've probably already started filming, which is crazy. Ooh, I mentioned this a long time ago on Weekly Hyperfixations. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was at least several months ago because I remember it not being very hot outside when I did that episode. But Steve Burns, known to many as Steve from Blue's Clues, the original guy from Blue's Clues, a long time ago he announced that he was thinking about doing a podcast to help the generation that he functionally helped raise by being that character. And now officially, his new podcast is titled Alive, and it comes out with its premiere episode on the 17th of this month. So big hype for that. I'll definitely at least listen to the first episode. Podcasts aren't usually my thing. The closest thing to a podcast I'll consume is like a Dungeons and Dragons thing, or like a Penumbra pod thing. So even then I haven't listened to that in forever, but I go more for fiction in podcasts, but there's a lot of potential with this one, so I'm excited for it. Y'all, they released a teaser trailer for a movie of Wuthering Heights. And let me tell you, as someone who has read the book because I was required to in school, not only is Emily Bronte rolling in her grave, but this is the lamest excuse for a movie I've ever seen in my life, because, hey, why are you calling it Wuthering Heights? That teaser trailer alone had so many things that weren't in the book, and or were not accurate to the book in any way, shape, or form. Just say you wanted to make a 50 Shades of Grey type of movie. You didn't have to slap a pre-existing title on it. That's how wrong it is, you know? First of all, it is Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, so it's making Catherine out to be a 35-year-old blonde woman. Already incorrect. Catherine is supposed to be like 19 maximum. She's supposed to be a brunette, but that's less of a concern. It's more of a concern of part of the deal of like how the tone was set in the book is Catherine is like 19 and Heathcliff is definitely more than a decade older than her, but you can't really tell how old he's supposed to be, but you know that he's older. And like she can't really gauge that either. He is supposed to be a person of color and not conventionally attractive. The townspeople find Heathcliff very weird and like not someone they want to associate with unless they have to, because he's from a different culture. He looks too different. He acts too different. They functionally nixed all of that by making it a white Australian man or whatever the fuck. And on top of all of that, there are so many very sexual clips shown in that teaser trailer. Almost none of those things happen in Wuthering Heights. The only thing in that teaser that I vaguely remember happening in Wuthering Heights is cutting open a dress. And I'm pretty sure that's because someone was like seriously hurt or something. And it was while reading the book, it didn't feel romantic. From what I remember, literally none of Wuthering Heights felt romantic. It felt like you were watching something you weren't supposed to, and not in a sexual way. So like, just say you wanted to make a smutty romance film. You didn't have to butcher Emily Bronte's hard work. I'm pissed off. I really want to buy a copy of Wuthering Heights because I'm hoping that if sales of the book increase, girlies who are really excited about it will go and actually read the source material and see how unfaithful this movie is already. I really love that book, and I'm so disappointed. That was one of the few books in high school that I like really loved the tone of. And like, I'm a fandom person. I've been on Tumblr for like 12 years. Okay, my apologies. The camera started wigging out really hard, so if the angle has changed or anything, that's because I was trying to fix the camera. I'm gonna backtrack a little and move on, so I'm sorry if the cut there is a little weird, but I want to save you guys from flashing lights, because that's kind of what the glitching effect does when this camera starts glitching out. Anyways, Wuthering Heights is the only book from high school that I really liked, and not in a Tumblr-minded way. I've been on Tumblr since 2013, so I've been on there for like what, 12 years. Somehow I never became Tumblr minded about Wuthering Heights. I read it when I was like 17, so I read it like junior year. But the fact that one of the few books from that period of my life that I liked a lot, and the tone was excellent, and it felt like it was just a good read overall. It was a very good read. And to see it so wildly butchered like that just makes me so disappointed and it really shows how far down the drain media literacy has gone. So that's fun. This is a gamble, guys. Okay, it seems fine. Okay. Anyways, next up, Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, they recently had a concert, and the article titles that I've seen are that like Coldplay has been criticized for dehumanizing and insulting Israeli people with a statement he made at a recent concert. Do you want to know the official quote? The quote that came out of that man's mouth that Israeli people have been calling dehumanizing? I've got it written word for word. I want to welcome all Israelis and Palestinians to this concert as equal human beings. So anyways, Coldplay continues to be my comfort music artist, as it will always be. And I think that further proves it, because while I understand that they're trying not really to pick a side, that doesn't fucking matter because they dared to say that the sides were equal. You know. But bold move regardless, you know what I mean? So big props to that, honestly. Okay, let's see. Marvel Rivals is adding 2 new characters. It's adding Daredevil, but they've made a little twist on it. He is possessed by, I can't remember the name of what he's possessed by, but he's possessed by some sort of actual spirit that will basically give him more powers. It sounds like it's to help him be more usable in Marvel Rivals, kind of fit him in with how the skill sets do. Or sorry, that was not grammatically good at all. It seems like they've made it so they've picked a specific version of Daredevil where he's sharing his body with a spirit, is to make it so his skill set matches up to the other playable characters in the game. And then we have Angela, who, if you do not know who that is, she is one of Thor's sisters. So there's 4 Asgardians all from the same family in this game now. And sorry, for a second I thought the camera glitched and I was about to lose it. Oh, now I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, Angela. But she is big buff lady, red hair, single golden wing. She's an angel, canonically. Which is really funny to me as a Final Fantasy player because she is factually a one-winged angel. So my household and I have been joking that she's the Marvel Sephiroth. Also, fun fact, canonically, she is a lesbian, and Marvel's like implied that some characters are queer, but they don't have a lot of canonically confirmed lesbians, and she is one of them. So big props to that. Also, I was hoping that Marvel would add a flying tank, and lo and behold, she's a flying tank. So I'm very excited about that. And then, oh, is that really? I've only got one more thing. I've mentioned before, I think, the idea of Cascadia or Pacifica. Basically, if you're unfamiliar with that, it's how would I phrase that? It's a region of America that consists of any combination of Oregon, Washington, California. Wow, Oregon, Washington, California. Some of those, like Cascadia, includes a little bit of Idaho and Nevada and stuff like that. And Cascadia also actually includes part of Canada. And Pacifica includes a little bit of Mexico. But functionally, it's an idea for if those states were to break off from all the others. And this idea has been around for a really long time. It's gotten more popular due to the current political climate. But an addition to Cascadia and Pacifica enthusiasts and those who hope for it, California, Oregon, and Washington have officially announced that they have made a health alliance in direct defiance of RFK Jr. Basically to preserve like things like vaccinations and proper healthcare, which is really exciting. Also mental health care as well. So very excited about that because that is directly putting those three states in opposition of the rest of the country, which does make Cascadia seem more likely. So that's fun. And that's all my regular notes. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the pyramid. First up on the pyramid is Daredevil. Mainly because some people were really hating on him when people first started talking about like hoping he would be in Marvel Rivals like forever ago. Because they were like, oh, but he like barely has a move set. How is he not just going to be a clone of like Iron Fist in terms of like just punching and stuff? But I'm really glad that Marvel was like, we're going to outdo you because concept, sometimes heroes have powers from other things. Crazy, I know. Doesn't matter if it's only from one comic run. It happened. We can use that to make him fit in. And they did. So shout out to them. Also, I have a friend who's very into Daredevil, and they garnered my appreciation for him. So, very excited about that. Maybe they'll actually play the game now. Also, I don't remember if he's been announced as a duelist or a tank, but I'm hoping he's a tank. Just because, dear God, we have too many duelists. I'm checking right now. But on top of that, there's Angela. She's a Vanguard. We know this. Okay, I don't think they have. Yeah, okay. They have not yet announced what category Daredevil is in. Really hoping it's not duelist because we have so many duelists that the wheel is getting too big. Next up on the pyramid, we have Angela because like I said, she is everything I wanted in this game in terms of we did not have a flying duelist. A buff woman. She is a not super well-known character to some. And she is canonically queer already. So we stay winning. I believe also that Angela's wife is trans, which is also nice. But I did see a lot of funny things on Reddit where, you know, a bunch of guys on various subreddits were like super excited because Angela's a hot woman. And the top comment being, yeah, she's a lesbian and her wife is trans, just so you know. Yeah. I don't know what you expected, like. But I think it's very funny to see men get shut down so immediately on that, because that game does have a problem with that kind of thing. So making the newest female character be a big buff lesbian is really funny. Next up on the pyramid is Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, mainly because he must have known that that statement would have shown the true colors of the Israeli population, and it did. Because, you know, people can say things in the moment, but when you are speaking at a concert and you have a full PR team and you've been around the block more than once in terms of the internet and interacting with fans, you know that that's at least a possibility. So the guts to say that out loud. Also, using your platform as a white man to bring to light that issue, even a little bit, is more than a lot of stars in America have done. So, that's why Chris Martin is on the pyramid. Next up on the pyramid, these two slots are special, and they are Critical Role because I have no self-control. Next up on the pyramid is Fjord. I can't remember his last name all of a sudden. I know her last name, but I don't. Well, I guess they would be having the same last name. Hold on. Ford. Is it just Ford? It's just Fjord. Okay. Next up on the pyramid is Fjord from Critical Role. And the next slot on the pyramid is Jester Lavore. The reason these two are taking up slots on the pyramid is because I believe it's October 15th, I think. October 15th? They are hosting... Well, technically they've filmed it. Or no. Hold on. I'm getting the streams crossed. Critical Role, please. Take me to the announcement. Okay. Ugh. So Regal, AMC, and Cinemark theaters, yes, you heard me, are showing on October 15th at 7 p.m. local time. Are showing a recording from the live show in Radio City Music Hall. They are showing in theaters the wedding of Ford and Jester. I'm very excited about that because even though it's a recording, that is a big moment in the span of Critical Role. They've done a lot of, you know, anytime they do a live show, sometimes it will be a one shot or something if it's not fitting within the normal schedule, or like if, you know, it's between campaigns, they'll do one shots. And sometimes, a lot of times they will go back into previous campaign settings and do some things in there. And this one was very, very big because not only were Fjord and Jester getting married in canonical D&D, but also the people who play those characters are actually married. So it kind of feels like a sweet little renewing of vows type of thing for them. Like, not entirely, of course, but like it has that vibe. And also it was a huge deal because it was at Radio City Music Hall. Y'all, like, that's crazy. But what's even crazier is that they've recorded it and are now showing it in theaters one day only. If a theater in town is playing it, I will absolutely be going to that. You cannot make me miss that. If I have access, if there is a theater in town that's actually playing it, I will be there. It's unlikely, but if there is, you bet your ass I'll be there. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited about that. And that does tick off 2 spots on the pyramid for both Ford and Jester. Also, the art of them in their wedding outfits is very beautiful, and it's probably the best piece of commissioned work I've ever seen them get. So finally, last up on the pyramid, top spot is James Gunn. Dude's doing the most. He knows that there's no way that James Gunn is not super familiar with the fact that if things are going bad in the world, entertainment becomes really, really important. And the fact that not only is it very important right now, but he's doing Superman specifically, which is even more important to see characters with those values idealized on screen. But he's already, they're already filming the next movie, which is Supergirl related. And then they've already got a full release date for Man of Tomorrow. Y'all, that's crazy. Also, that means that the next Batman movie and the next Superman movie are coming out right around the same time. We've won, guys. In terms of entertainment and getting our mind off of the darkness that is the world right now, we are winning in that specific category. But honestly, James Gunn is also just on the pyramid because of his honestly ideal dedication to the medium and to producing something that the fans will like. So that's why he's on the pyramid. That is surprisingly all I have for y'all this week. Well, yeah. I'm losing my train of thought, as you can tell. But I'm very excited for this week in my D&D group. They're going to a casino. It's more of a beach episode type session. And I thought it'd be really fun and creative. All of the NPCs in the casino that they can interact with are either real pre-existing characters in media, some of which are Critical Role NPCs. And the reason I can do pre-existing characters is because this isn't a recorded D&D. This is just in the moment. We're not recording or anything, that kind of D&D. So I can do that. So it's either pre-existing NPCs from games and popular media, or D&D characters that I have, like ones that I have made. So I'm able to voice, for once, every single character that they can interact with. There is not a single character they can interact with that I do not already have a voice for and do not already have some level of backstory or like personality read for. I'm very excited about it. Yes, they'll have some combat, but it's more to develop their characters because we haven't really had a huge amount of dedicated time to do that. So we're doing that this week. I'm very excited about it. I also wrote a literal scripted piece for the beginning of session, which is different for me. I'm very excited about that. yeah, I'll tell y'all how it goes. I won't spill too many details just in case any of my players are watching. I see you guys. Love you. But yeah, I'll tell y'all how that goes. Anyways. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Yeah, have a good one, y'all. We're getting so close to fall. I am so unbelievably excited. For the whole month of October for D&D, I'm planning a masquerade ball, so I'm very excited about that. Lots of props and things to do, but regardless, I also have some props to work on for the theater that I work with, so, you know. But anyways, I'll see y'all next week. I hope you have a good week next week. And yeah, I'll see y'all around. Bye, y'all.